Trump is just now finishing up his live stream, or his live rally, excuse me. Let's just go back like a little bit. There's no way in hell we're going to sit through another one of these deranged, like senile rambling fests. We're not going to sit through the whole thing. We're definitely going to listen to some of it though. So hang on to your butts.
I mean, Time Magazine, think of this. Time Magazine doesn't have a picture of her. They have this unbelievable artist drawing her. And I said, is that Sophia Loren? I couldn't. Who might that be? Is that Elizabeth Taylor? They say she was a beautiful woman. Who is it? It's so beautiful. Drawing. It's a drawing. They took a lot of pictures. It didn't work out, so they hired a sketch artist. I said, I'm sure.
Why is Trump, of all people, complaining about Kamala Harris having a sketch artist? I mean, did we all forget how many sketches Trump has of himself?
Oh, they must be celebrating the great life and times of the magnificently beautiful Sophia Loren. And you're not allowed to say this anymore. You know, David, don't ever get caught in this trap, David, please. Don't ever call a woman beautiful, because that'll be the end of your political career. Please. I want to make your life much easier, David. By the way, he's also got a great wife.
Did he just say never call a woman beautiful, or it'll be the end of your political career? There's a lot of context that I think would be relevant there. Trumpy boy? I mean, first and foremost, are you married and complimenting other women and flirting with other women? Because that might be a problem. That might be the end of your political career. Sure. If you're touting traditional values, of course. Do you mean like sexually harassing people? You probably shouldn't sexually harass people. And yeah, there's definitely times that would be inappropriate. For example, if you had a female employee and you were their boss and you were like, you're very beautiful, you're so beautiful, that would be incredibly inappropriate.
But you know, I mean, I read a so-called Republican who Ronald Reagan didn't like, by the way, and she didn't like him, but she got credit for being this Reagan speechwriter. Highly overrated.
Why does every Trump fan in the background look like they have straight up bacon grease running through their veins? I mean, unironically, look at all these people.
Treats me badly, but that's okay. She called it wrong. She's called it wrong now for about 8 years. But she said one thing that got me. She said Kamala has one big advantage. She's a very beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. So I decided to go back and reread the clause. I'm not saying he's not, but I say that I am much better looking than her. I think I'm much better. Much better. I'm a better looking person than Kamala. No, I couldn't.
I don't even know how to respond to that. I get that like half of what Trump says is just rage bait, but no, Trump, absolutely not, okay? A jar of pickles is prettier than you, my friend. How do we even compare these people as far as appearance goes? Is Trump like this man actually unironically claiming that he's just better looking? I don't care.
Believe it. She said, you know, I had never heard that one. They said, no, her biggest advantage is that she's a beautiful woman. I'm going, huh. I never thought of that. I'm better looking than she is. In her speech yesterday, Kamala went full communist. You heard that? She went full communist. She wants to destroy our country. After causing catastrophic inflation, Comrade Kamala announced that she wants to institute socialist price controls. You saw that. Never worked before, never ever worked. This is the Maduro plan, Venezuela. Maduro plan of like the old Soviet Union. They tried it. How did the Soviet Union work?
Oh my, so good thing we were looking this up since Trump is of course lying. What Kamala's actually talking about here is being against price gouging. With inflation and high grocery prices still frustrating many voters, Vice President Kamala Harris on Friday proposed a ban on price gouging by food suppliers and grocery stores as part of a broader agenda aimed at lowering the cost of housing, medicine, and food. There is no strict definition that economists would agree on, but it generally refers to spikes in prices that typically follow a disruption in supply, such as after a hurricane or other natural disaster. Consumer advocates charge that gouging occurs when retailers sharply increase prices, particularly for necessities under such circumstances. Okay, so this would obviously be like an unfair thing, right? So if COVID hits, for example, and now all these other grocery stores in the local area are unable to have a shipment in of bread or basic food, and the one grocery store is able to keep running, that one grocery store, under the definition of price gouging, would then raise their prices up excessively high simply because they are now the only place that people can get bread or food from. Several states already restrict price gouging, but there's no federal level ban. Most economists would say no, that it wouldn't lower grocery prices. So, okay, even if Trump wants to say, hey, this isn't really the greatest idea, or hey, this might not really be a solution here, that's all fine. That's politics. Have at it. Argue back and forth. However, when you claim that this is communist, when you're lying about what she's actually proposing, all you do is just lose the point entirely. You just sound like a senile old loon. Even more so, several states already restrict price gouging, so Kamala wanting to do it on a federal level, does that mean that some of these states have already embraced communists, have already embraced communism?
And they made a big mistake. Yesterday in her speech, I think she said, I had to play it back. You know, I love the playback controls you have nowadays. They used to call it TiVo, now they have TiVo, I think it's the single greatest invention. It's better than television, because television would drive you crazy if you couldn't do a playback, right? Now I can play back. I heard the statement, and I heard that statement that she made, and I said, you know, she made a statement yesterday.
This is so frustrating to listen to because he's just rambling. What is he talking about, like this thing that allows him to rewind live TV? Really? Do people just show up to these Trump rallies to listen to like Uncle Grandpa ramble on about whatever the fuck comes to his mind? Really? We've heard him talking about how he can rewind live TV and how he's better looking than Kamala Harris. No wonder Trump is still down in the polls. No wonder 538 still has Kamala Harris up by 2.5 points.
When somebody's given, and you understand how bad this stuff is. This is communist, this is Marxist, this is fascist. But you know what? It's dangerous because she's saying that she's going to give away things that she'll never be able to get approved. She wants to increase the number.
Is the man who talked about having the wall built and Mexico paying for it really talking about another politician asserting that they're going to get things done that will never, quote unquote, happen? Are you fucking kidding me, Trump? How's your wall going, pal? And has Mexico paid for it yet?
The job they've done against, and you know, the radical left plays the ref. You know the great Bobby Knight, he supported me. He used to fight with the referees all the time, scream at him, Bobby, please, don't do that. It's not going to work. He said, you're right, it's not going to work now, it's going to work for the next one. And the next call, there'd be a flagrant foul, and they wouldn't call it. They didn't want to get screamed at. The radical left...
What is he talking about?
...harasses our judges and harasses our justices. They scream...
Trump, you literally accused a judge of being Mexican and being biased against you because he's Mexican. Like, you literally made one of the most racist and disgusting claims against a judge. You've claimed the entire justice system is rigged against you. You've claimed that the entire election system is rigged against you. What the fuck is this, like, narcissistic projection? This is like gaslighting here. I feel like I'm being mind-fucked. As this guy is like, Kamala wants to do every single thing that I've already done myself, but when she does it, it's bad.
They call them names. They say they're incompetent, they're horrible, they're this, they're that, they should be impeached. They're constantly saying they should be impeached, but they're screaming. And you know what? It has an effect on some people, but so far, they've been very strong. It's really horrible. I believe it's illegal what they do.
So for those of you that wanted a source, here you are. Trump presses case that Mexican judge is biased against him. June 4th, 2016. He is intensifying his attacks on the federal judge presiding over fraud lawsuits against Trump University. He said, he's a Mexican. We're building a wall between here and Mexico.
You know, they weaponized our system, our government totally weaponized it. First time it's ever happened. And they said, my biggest case is in Florida, Florida.
He literally just did it. The left is attacking the judges, everybody. And now they weaponized the system against me. I think we're just going to go ahead and call it for the Trump rally. Somebody suggested I should watch a Kamala rally. Is she live? Wait, are you scared to do a live reaction to Kamala, Hunter? You'll do Trump but not Kamala? I literally just said I'm looking up Kamala's speech right now, my friend. What does this say up here, buddy? Kamala rally. You're so desperate to like prove me bad faith that you are the one acting in bad faith.
Because, you know, some corporate landlords, some of them, buy dozens, if not hundreds of houses and apartments. Then they turn them around and rent them out at extremely high prices. And it can make it impossible then for regular people to be able to buy or even rent a home. Some corporate landlords collude with each other to set artificially high rental prices, often using algorithms in price-fixing software to do it. It's anti-competitive, and it drives up costs.
I like how as soon as we tune into a Kamala rally at this little dipshit's request from chat, we have what? A clear-cut issue that is actually affecting people. We have a clear-cut acknowledgement of that issue. We have a clear-cut understanding of the issue. And then she's proposing ways that she will be able to fix it or at least offer regulations to try and curtail that type of behavior. It's amazing. We tune into Trump and what do we have? I'm better looking than Kamala, okay? Back in my day, women knew to shut the fuck up. But then when we get to Kamala, it's like, all right, here's a clear-cut issue. This is affecting people and here's how we can fix it. Her messages are actually hopeful. Trump's messages are that of a senile old man on the brink of dementia.
I will fight for a law that cracks down on these practices.
And there you go. Not a false promise. I'll fight for a law that cracks down on these promises. She's not saying, when I'm president, everything will be fixed. She's saying, here's something that I really can do within my power to try and fix it.
We also know that as the price of housing has gone up, the size of down payments have gone up as well.
Okay, who's the fucking cameraman, though? Because why are we not seeing Kamala Harris?
Even if aspiring homeowners save for years, it often still is not enough. So in addition, while we work on the housing shortage, my administration will provide first-time home buyers with $25,000 to help with the down payment on a new home.
See, there you go. There is a hopeful policy to actually help people. She's actually focusing on the issues and actually offering things that sound really appealing. Trump just bitches nonstop about, oh, the problems, the economy, the immigrants, oh. Kamala's like, hey, things aren't great. Here's how we can fix it. She gives hope. Trump gives nothing but bitchiness.
We can do this. We can do this. All to help more Americans experience the pride of home ownership and the financial security that it represents and brings. So that's my plan. But here's what Donald Trump would do. If his Project 2025 agenda is put into effect, it will add around $1,200 a year to the typical American mortgage. He's got it backward. We should be doing everything we can to make it more affordable to buy a home.
Let's fact check that, because I know that Trump has already tried to distance himself from Project 2025. I'm seeing stuff about them wanting to get rid of 30-year mortgages. Conservative Heritage Foundation has rolled out a proposed blueprint for federal change that includes some drastic housing items, and some think it reveals more details of Trump campaign goals, not necessarily in its official Agenda 47. The think tank's plan, dubbed Project 2025, overhauls and shrinks many federal agencies while simultaneously eliminating swaths of career support staff, reprising some items previously floated during Trump's first term. So I'm not sure if Kamala is correct in that statement. A secret video shows Project 2025 is still at the heart of a potential second Trump term. Trump's sprint away from Project 2025. Yeah, it seems like Trump is trying to distance himself from this. I don't know how accurate that claim is on Kamala's end. However, at least she's still laying out policies that she would do, and she's still acknowledging very real problems. The housing crisis, that's a real problem.
Finally, there's one more way I will help families deal with rising costs, and that's by letting you keep more of your hard-earned money. Under my plan, more than 100 million Americans will get a tax cut, and we will do this by restoring 2 tax cuts designed to help middle-class and working Americans: the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Child Tax Credit.
Earned income tax credit. If you're a low to moderate income worker, find out if you qualify. So I think this is to help lower income workers to get ahead, which is really, really good and incredibly beneficial. This is the exact type of social safety nets that I would like to see implemented here. The government should be able and be willing to help its citizens get ahead in life. That's a good thing.
We know this works and has a direct impact on so many issues, including child poverty. We know it works. So as president, I'll not only restore that tax cut, but expand it. We will provide $6,000 in tax relief to families during the first year of a child's life. Now think what that means.
Damn, sounds like some pretty good support right there for traditional values, huh? Now people with kids who are living that trad life are going to actually get help from the government and not face just more uphill battles. That sounds like something that resonates with an average American right there. This right here, my friends, is why Kamala Harris is leading Trump in the polls. She's clearly stating real issues that resonate with Americans, that resonates with everybody listening, I would assume, and that's so much more appealing.
Vital year of critical development of a child. And the cost can really add up, especially for young parents who need to buy diapers and clothes and a car seat and so much else. And we will do this while reducing the deficit. Compare my plan with what Donald Trump intends to do. He plans to give billionaires massive tax cuts year after year. And he plans to cut corporate taxes by over $1 trillion.
I'm sorry, chat, but giving middle-class Americans tax cuts is not communist. If anything, that would be more capitalist, because that kind of shit stimulates the economy further, putting more money in people's pockets. They then have more spending power. This improves the overall economy.
Even as they pull in record profits. And that's on top of the $2 trillion tax cut he already signed into law when he was president, which, by the way, overwhelmingly went to the wealthiest Americans and corporations and exploded the national deficit.
That's true, by the way. That is true. Trump's tax cuts absolutely fucked over middle-class Americans further.
You know, I think that if you want to know who someone cares about, look who they fight for. Look who they fight for.
It's true. Why is Trump fighting for billionaires and the wealthiest Americans to have further tax cuts and benefits? Why is he? It doesn't seem like Trump is as interested or is as caring towards the middle class. That is a great line. Kamala has really good and clear rhetoric. No wonder Trump is scared shitless of her. I mean, Trump's rally compared to this, it's literally night and day. It actually feels like watching like Biden compared to Obama almost. Like, seriously, like Kamala is very clear and straight to the point, and she knows what she's talking about. She's resonating with the struggles of everyday Americans and offering hope. Trump is just like this rambling baboon. Just like, ooh, well, yeah, Tic Tacs. Oh, does anybody even know Kamala Harris's last name? What? Like, he never says anything of substance. Kamala, it sounds like, is saying things of substance. So big shout out to the dumb little hater in chat for suggesting we watch a Kamala Harris rally, since I assume they thought we were going to click this and then, I don't know, be embarrassed or think that she was saying something silly or coming across really bad. That obviously backfired. Kamala Harris sounded incredibly clear and very, very concise, especially compared to listening to Donald Trump, which literally I've heard more edifying information from like a gerbil that got run over by a car than I have from Donald Trump at one of his fucking rallies.